I don't have to tell myself. You see, there is a need. Need is not self-initiated, never. You see, if I need to know, I am looking at that clock all the time. I never reach the time because there is when I go out, I always go to the wrong side of the car here. Because in America and Europe, it is on the other side. The driver sits on the other side. So automatically, I don't want to reprogram the computer for the simple reason that I'll be out of the place within a week, and then that will create a problem for me. So you are all the time thinking about it, you see, and then changing it. You see, I don't want to do that. I don't want to program this computer to go to the other side and not this side. Or this
all of this makes tremendous sense to me. I can say that, how do I know my name is Venkat? How do I know I was born to so? How do I know my father is my father, my mother is my mother? And so on. So all of that is automatic.
I am told, why the hell do you have to know that he is your mother or he is your father?
Okay, all right.
I don't bother.
I'm a crook.
Yeah. No, not a crook or some such thing. My daughter says, I am your daughter, I am your daughter, I am your daughter. So what does it mean? To me, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, it doesn't mean anything, sure.
To me, because I don't have the relationship that father and daughter supposed to have. You understand? So she can repeat it hundreds of times. I am your daughter, I am your daughter. It doesn't mean anything to me. All right, if it is daughter, is your wife comes and says, your girlfriend says, I am this. You see, they are all, related to one another. You can't say, if that goes, the whole thing goes. That is the problem. You see, it's not one after the other. You know? Anyone goes. The relationship doesn't exist. The money, goes, finish.
All of this makes sense to me.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, okay.
But then it makes sense, no further questions need be formulated by yourself. That's all. You are just saying it makes sense, it is not making any sense.
There is only fear and there is nothing else, you say.
Yeah.
And at the same time you say that there is no fear.
No, I can say, you can't say. You can't say that there is no fear. It is the one that says there is no fear is the fear. You see, to allow that to continue. That's why you say there is no fear. Because I made a statement, an assertive statement, that you don't want to be free from fear. So the one you are throwing at me, I don't have any fear. So that is not true. That is the way it survives. You understand? By telling that there is no fear.
Yeah.
The fear is maintaining its continuity. You see, then you don't have to say, you will never tell yourself that there is no fear.
And it will maintain its continuity by saying that there is no fear, and also by saying that there is fear.
That there is fear. Always related to what? The fear of losing what you have.
Yes.
The fear of not getting what you want. So ultimately it is only one fear, the fear of losing what you have. What do you have?
Fear.
You have money, you have this, you have position, you have fame, you have name, you have a wife, beautiful wife.
No, what I have is knowledge that I have all these things, right? I mean, I know I have.
That is all that is there, but if you say that it's all knowledge, else, then there is no problem. It's the knowledge that is my father, that is the knowledge that it is my... What does it mean, knowledge? There is a sofa, and that's my daughter, or my wife, my girlfriend. You see, you can't...
So,
you are not ready to go that far.
So, I am scared of...
This is easy, you can say, relating to these things, you understand, you know?
So, I am scared of losing only ideas, nothing else.
Because you are yourself an idea. So you don't want to lose that. I understand that. Why are you trying? You don't understand the danger of you sitting there. If something hits, you are in trouble, buddy. I know that, you see.
That is every chance of hitting one day then.
No.
Why, sir?
No chance.
Why, sir?
If you say there is a chance, there is no chance.
If he says that there is no chance,
But from then on he will wait. No chance or wait, there is a chance. And the chance, why should it be you?
Why not be me, sir?
Why not you means no chance.
It's very hard.
You are the one
Hit
who...
myself, to
I
get
can
hit.
tell you one thing. If there is anybody who doesn't deserve whatever happened to me, it's me.
and also once upon a time
I'm
you told
certain of that.
and also once upon a time you told
I
that
never
this-
expected this kind of a thing.
Yuji.
That's why I call it calamity.
Yuji,
Sweet, sweet, sir, you are so sweet. Add some more sweet.
Yuji, and also Also,
It's open.
also you told that once upon a time, if
I didn't tell anything.
if there is anybody who deserves this, it's only me and nobody else.
Yes, that does not mean you are the chosen
You
one. That
said
doesn't mean, no.
You
No,
said
no.
Ramana, sir.
When Ramana
You
was,
got to rest.
I did not say that you don't have any chance. Nobody has any chance. There is no need for that at all. There is no need to be free from fear because it's not there.
You
That's
say
all
at one
that-
time there is fear only operating. The other
No, that's
moment
for
you say-
you see, but actually there is no fear. There is no need. Anything you are doing to free yourself from fear, he is the one that is not ready.
Are you saying I need to do something?
Nothing, you don't need to do anything.
Non-existing thing, what do you do?
But see, I have a problem with society, you see. Say for 24 years I've just drifted around and today I feel to me, I need to, I need to pass exams.
Certainly, otherwise how can we survive in this
Sure,
world?
I know, I'm doing that.
That's all, there is no other way.
But
See,
you have
we
to
are
follow
functioning in
that.
a society where you have to acquire certain tools. You are more intelligent than I am. So you will be an engineer. You see, I am a dropout, so I don't have any chance of becoming an
I'm
engineer.
virtually enough, I'm cheap and
No, you're a bright boy. We don't want you to make money, sir, as an engineer.
Whatever we call it, the happiness, all the kind of emotions, no. They're all self-created, right? And
No, they-
does that have any chemical reaction?
All are chemical changes.
It does.
All of them. What you call
So I'm
happiness.
cheating.
Cheating. It has no, it doesn't need you to interfere and make it last or disappear. It
So
doesn't need-
otherwise, this body is not interested in
Not
having
it is-
any kind of emotion.
You see, why we are in misery is because we don't want to accept that the body can handle anything and everything by itself, and actually whatever you think is necessary, good for this body, it is rejected. The body does not want that. That is why you are in misery. You understand what I am saying? It doesn't want anything, good or bad. So can that body you are describing in terms that it is something extraordinary, it doesn't need any, can it not handle these problems? It is handling the problems in a very easy way. It is throwing out everything like shit. But you want to
No.
hold on to it. That's it. Or replace that with some other thing.
You can, around 3 months back, I was...
Don't talk of 3 months back. Don't talk of 3
Okay.
months back. Now. Now doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist. Only past exists. When he says 3 months back, you said you don't agree for that also.
No,
It's very difficult to handle.
No, if you want to find out the now, I'm telling you it doesn't exist.
Only the past will come. The 3 months
Only
only
the
have to
past.
come.
Yes.
Let him say, sir. 3
What,
months.
what is the point in bringing that into the present?
Because there is no present.
It is dead.
See, there is no present then.
No, forget it. Then there is no problem.
Dead things are there. Let us
No,
talk
dead
about
things,
dead
how
things.
can you
Okay, say
put life into the dead things?
I read your books.
No, do
I have read your books. And you're saying things like what you observe about thought is a thought. There is no thought there apart from what you
The observer is the thought. That's all. There is no thought there. So what is that observer is created by others.
I tried doing that the entire day, okay, but entire day I was trying to be perfect and just do whatever I wanted to do and observe myself and it drove me.
Crazy.
It was, I just couldn't.
You are
I just
already
couldn't
crazy
escape.
and turns into you don't do nothing.
I go to sleep totally scared. I think I don't know what's happening.
Oh, I see. I want your answer, not what others have said. Only your answer, if you have any answer. Your thinking means the material that others have provided as second hand, isn't it? Yes, it is. No, it is necessary to find out about thought. So those jokers have given us this shit. You see, I'm sorry.
Hey, you told me this last time.
I don't know what I said last time.
Last
You have
time,
to settle.
cultural oral shit.
Oral shit,
Yeah.
is anal shit, you see, goes this way. And the other shit that is coming out of your mouth is the oral shit that is put in by your culture. Right? So you have to find an answer for yourself and by yourself. And your answer, I guarantee, if there is any answer for you, will be far more interesting to me than all that shit that is put in.
No, tell us how to find the answers.
How means you want to know? How means?
There must be a way.
That is another, supposing I tell you...
What
this
should I
is the
do
way.
now?
You don't have to do anything because you don't need to find any thought there because there is no such thing as thought. How can I...
When you say that your questions aren't questions, what you're actually saying is, the question itself is from the knowledge, right?
Dirty, filthy. Huh?
Questions are all from all knowledge, all the answers that I already have.
Yeah.
All the questions are, who am I, even am I?
Yeah, why are you interested in finding out who am I? There was some joker there and
I'm not.
said, who am I?
Yes,
Go into
curiosity.
it, find out, analyze. I found out that only one I there existed in me. There is the first person singular pronoun.
So even if I ask myself, am I?
Huh?
Am I?
What?
I don't ask myself, who am I?
Why are you asking that question? Who am I?
I'm not asking myself, who am I? I'm asking myself, am I?
What do you mean? You don't try to be clever. Am I means what?
Okay, I'm clever. You just...
You are very clever. Otherwise you would be there in the engineering college.
I'm not doing very well out there.
No, it's not. You are doing well. You are doing very well. You get your BEd and then go to America. What do you call it? Engineering degree, BE, Bachelor of Engineering. Your girlfriend is going. Yeah.
I want to know why there is space, why there is time. And why I am
Is there a time, sir? Come on.
Yes.
Is there a time? Is there any such thing as time? That's the only time.
Chronological time.
That is the only time. There is no other time. That is, you see, the chronological time is for practical reasons. You see, you have to go and catch an air, or you have to go to your office at a particular time. So we have to have certain hours. The bank opens at 8 o'clock and closes at 12 o'clock or 11:30, the case may be. On Saturday, we have to take the money. You see, you have to use that clock. Other than that, there is no other time. No other time. The other thing that we are all concerned about is I don't like to use that word, psychological time. If you are not happy, you want to be happy. So a happy man would never ask the question, I want to be happy. You see, because there is no such thing as happiness at all there. So then you say, I want to be happy. I want to be happy all the time. You see. So then that is not now. Now there is no such thing as happiness at all in this frame, present frame. So you want to be happy, and that is always in the next frame, next time. So you have to push yourself to a point there. You see, that is there. So to walk from here to there, it takes time. You see, the space, the space does not exist. Space also is created by the thought which is put in there. So there is no such thing as space. There is no such thing as time also. But for practical purposes, you have to create time. You see, what is the time? It is now 3:45 here. And then you move in this direction. It is 7:15 in sync. Right? You add another 2 hours, 9:15 there in New Zealand. If you move this, it is 4.5 hours behind. London is 5.5 hours behind. New York is another 5 or 6 hours as the case may be. You go to Los Angeles, this is 13.5 hours behind. You see, this is, you have fixed up, you see the light, you see sunrise and sunset. The sun doesn't move at all, it's stationary, it doesn't move at all. It is this that is moving, you see. So, it is, in the final analysis, it is meaningless for one who is constantly traveling. And traveling, you see, in the latest planes. So, for example, you see, I left Los Angeles on Saturday night at 10:30, arrived at 6:30 on Monday morning. And what happened to the Sunday there? It just disappeared. I know you can explain. You have drawn an international date line. That's an artificially international date line. Because you keep going, suddenly you see the sun is there. You will be surprised, you see. If you travel the other way around, you leave today and arrive yesterday. So you have the same day twice. It creates, you see, a lot of problems for you. But for one who is constantly traveling, you will be surprised. You see, the eating example, for example, you see, when you leave here at 6:30 in the morning, you eat your breakfast here. and you arrive there in London, for example, you see, they will all be eating breakfast there at 11 o'clock there. They are eating lunch, you see, you should be eating dinner here. You see, these are all artificially fixed timings, and you have to fit into that, otherwise you will be in trouble. You see, here you go to the toilet at 6 o'clock every day if you are not suffering from constipation. After you allow that body to take care of itself without putting any of your ideas, controlling anything, you will be surprised that at 6 o'clock Indian time, you see, 10:30 there, you see, Sydney, you go there at 10:30. So eating also has to be changed. That's why for years and years I maintained and told everybody that the biological clock is 25 and a half hours and the chronological clock is 24 hours. He said, what are you talking? He doesn't know what he's saying, all these scientists, microbiologists. And recently they have found out, his daughter once came, Eugene, what you have been telling for years, and we didn't believe what you were saying, and we have discovered that the biological clock, as you say, is 25 and a half hours. So from the time the baby is born, you push that baby to fit into this time. You see, biological clock is different. See, they have to fit into our time, otherwise the mother will be in trouble, you see. So you are forcing from that moment onwards to fit their time into our chronological clock, which is essential, you see, for them to function in this world. There is no other way. But there is a tremendous resistance when they go to sleep. If you closely observe, you will be surprised that there is a time difference between the biological clock, the body clock, and then that chronological clock, inventory times. So this will confuse you. And that is what they are saying, when you travel, you see, there is no, I never felt any of the things that they are talking about, because I start living the time, and then this eating habits, I don't eat anyway, it doesn't matter to me. I don't observe breakfast, lunch, dinner, you see, the same thing I eat. Not to bother about whether the body is hungry or not, you see. So for me it's no problem at all. So there is no such, it is not the timeless. Not all these Vedantins talk about is absolute rubbish.
How do you know that that is rubbish?
Huh?
How do you know that
It is a concept which I have invented. You see, that is why you have the problem of the time. You see, there must be some other time. The only time that you are bothered about is to achieve your goals. And that goal takes time. You see, if you want something, it has to materialize right away. You see. But you have to take into consideration the time factor. It takes some hours, some time to achieve your goals. So this was my problem in those days. When we talked about the rishis said something, things immediately happened. And my question was, why should that bastards blessings and curses should happen immediately? Why not mine? You understand? So it created a sort of inquiry to find out if that is possible for that guy, it must be possible for me. Of course, I rejected all that nonsense. It never happened that way. These are all the stories. If there is anybody, I want him to say something, I want that to happen immediately. It will never happen. You can be certain of that. And then you see, I experimented with them. So you can use your thought to make certain things happen. See, that also takes time. See, and you believe that your thought is responsible for something you want to happen. Even there is a gap. Yesterday he was telling me, see, I want, and he asked me to tell the story of my friend. I have a friend in England. He weighs 225 kilos, and he's so fat that he cannot walk through this. And he studied in London. He has a degree and all that. He's so fat that he cannot do anything, so he's doing the courier's job on a motor bicycle. And he fell in love with the wife of his best friend. You see, so he didn't have the guts to propose himself or tell his girlfriend, best friend's girlfriend, I love you. So he wanted this best friend to die. Right? I want my friend to die, I want my friend to die, I want my friend to die, I want my friend. That was his meditation. It didn't happen immediately. After a year, that guy was knocked down by a car and he died. So he himself went and buried there the body, and then after 5 or 6 months he approached this girl, and what makes you think that I will fall for you? I am interested in you. She threw him out. She wanted to hit him. And then he felt so miserable because his thought, resulted in the death of his best friend. And from then on, he went every morning to the burial ground. There he buried that body. Come back to life, come back to life, come back to life, come back to life. It didn't happen. And so he came to me. I knew him very well. Yuji, you are the only one that can bring back that guy to life. We have our stories that Jesus did it, so many other people brought so many people back to life. You are the only one. I have tremendous faith in you. You see, you are the only one that can bring back my friend back to life. Because I had done this terrible thing, I wanted him to die. I said, it is not because of your wish that guy died. It was an accident, he was knocked down by a car. You are establishing the cause and effect relationship. You just forget it, you can't bring him back to life. There's already been, provided a field day for millions and millions of things there. They are enjoying, don't bring him back to life. And then, later on I discovered something very amazing. Wanting and thinking is the same. You see, you want something. It doesn't matter what you want. And so how do I get what I want? It doesn't matter what you want, whether you want to run away with your best friend's wife, or you want $1 million, you want to... Enlightenment doesn't exist, spiritual things don't bother, they don't exist at all. In the material world, is all that we are talking about. The want, you see, why is there this gap? I discovered that whatever I wanted, I could get it. Anything I wanted in life. By that time I brushed aside, the enlightenment and all the spiritual things I was interested in because they don't exist at all. The material things I want, you know. And so why is there this time gap? You see, why it happened in the case of the rishis, the moment they said, I want it, it materialized, why it doesn't materialize? But see, I found that my wants were reduced to the minimum. You see, this I discovered. And my needs and goals are the same. See, when my needs and goals became the same, so there was no problem for me. I didn't have any goals beyond my means. So if I didn't have the money to buy a Rolls-Royce car, I have my richest friend, a multi-millionaire. I can put my hand in his pocket and take the $1 million and buy a car or $100,000. I tell the guy, you see, don't call me a pickpocket buddy. I must have the means to buy. So then they go on and on and on to discuss. You see, they have nothing else to talk about. All right, you are attracted to a pretty woman then. Attracted to her. That is the action. Attraction to that pretty woman then. So what do you do? What do you do when once you are attracted? You go and grab her. Probably she will slap you on one cheek. And you can quote Jesus and show the other cheek. And she will slap you on the other cheek. Or she might say, buddy, let's go and have fun. How much money do you have in your pocket? You don't know what she will do. Or you moralize, I am supposed to be as a moral man. I cannot be attracted to the women like that.
You see, I'm scared. I don't do anything.
You are not doing anything. See, where is the action here? Action is all the things that I suggested. Any one of those things you can do. But you are not doing anything, you are sitting and thinking about what is wrong with that only action. You see, thought, if it takes its birth, there is an action. You see, then afterwards I realized that itself is an action. So you can't say that you are a saint, that you are a holy man. How can you be attracted to a woman? That kind of further talk is not there. If you are not a saint, you are not. How can you be attraction to a pretty woman? Why you are condemning? You see, whether you are a saint or a sinner, It can happen to anybody.
So you're saying the attraction is already it's there, it's normal, it's happening.
Even that attraction wouldn't be there, because the attraction is born out of, you see, the knowledge you have of her as a pretty girl. If the knowledge that she is a pretty woman is not there, you will not be attracted to her at all.
See, I don't even tell myself she's
Otherwise you don't know. How do you know that she's a pretty woman?
Yeah.
No, how do you know? We have been brainwashed to believe they are pretty girls, the others are ugly ducklings. You know? So you are, this knowledge you have is the problem that is condemning that action.
Not knowledge, instinct.
No instincts at all, sir. Instincts
Even
don't
that
exist.
instinct is also knowledge.
Knowledge. We want to separate it, yes.
Excuse me, they say that what is exactly Brahman then?
Yes,
That these fellows said.
They say, don't ask me, ask them. They say, Brahman doesn't exist for me at all. Invented by those jokers, you see. You know, if there is a Brahman, I am Brahman, you can repeat hundreds of times. Since that is an invention, you can also fool yourself that you are a Brahman.
Then what is that state that Ramana and Ramakrishna?
They were all, you want me to use a dirty word? Nothing to them. Nothing. No, they were all salesmen selling you call for them.
I mean, how do you know?
I know for certain that there is no such thing. If the bastard told us to find out who am I, and then you start, you see, on the journey of finding out, analyzing, finding out the real I found was the first person singular pronoun. Other than that, I didn't find any other I. That is very essential for me to use the first person singular pronoun, because you see, there is somebody else you have to say. And that was the reason why I met that bastard Ramadas, the joker. You see, he never used that word I. Ramadas is very happy to see you. Ramadas will be glad to have lunch with you. Ramadas would like you to stay here for 2 or 3 days. Ramadas, you say, what the hell, you are the most self-centered, I didn't use that word bastard, self-centered man I have come across. What is it that you are trying to tell me, that you don't have any self? Why you replace that, you see, whatever his name, Ramadas. I say, I will be happy, I am glad to see you, I would like to have you for lunch and get it over. And this joker, Jay Krishnamurti, is a joker Krishnamurti. He used that word speaker. What is being said? What is it that you are trying to prove? Huh? That you don't have that self, that you don't have that I you want to be free from? Why do you believe those bastards? You tell me. Huh? You are a self-centered man and he is also. So I walked out and that guy, sorry, thank you for your invitation to stay here. I'm not interested. Don't try to be. See, when I was there on the BBC, the Guest of the Week interview, somebody, very famous guy, read my books. He said, I can't handle this fellow, he will finish me in no time. You try to bring somebody else. They tried 1 or 2. They brought a very great scholar and professor of Eastern religions in some university to interview me. That was the program, you see, Guest of the Week program. So the first question he asked me, you are blasting everything that the religions have taught us and stood for. Why you have not changed your name? Why you have not changed your name? Only criminals and holy men change their names. Holy men change their names more often than criminals. That was my answer to it. That's a fact. You are Rajini, so many times he changed his name, that bastard. Right? So otherwise, why is it so important? Why do you have to prove to others, by changing the color of your robes, you become, you say, a saint? Huh? Why? Why you do that? Whom are you fooling? Huh? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to change your name? Give me a number. I have a number from my passport, my bank number, street number, house number, and your bus's number. Why do you have to bother about that? You see, they have to prove. They want to prove that they don't have that self, that they are not self-centered like millions of us. We'll fall for those bastards. They are the worthless. I'm telling you.
Okay, 99 of them might be
100%, not one single exception. Anybody who starts proselytization and conversion, starting with, you see, the great rishis were drinking soma juice, you know, the substitute for all this stuff, the chemical drugs you take, the ecstasies, you know. That's all. They experienced a lot of things and they talked about that and they passed on from generation to generation. A 14-year-old boy, 16-year-old boy sitting there in Himalayas, me I'm talking about. meditating, experienced every damn thing they described. Highest states. Then I said, you see, what the hell? You see, you are in the same state as that guy. You have yourself produced these things through the help of thought. These are all thought-induced experience. Out, finish. And then you see, when I felt the last time that you are in the same state as all those greatest teachers that we have had and we have in this world, you say, how the hell do you know that you are in the same state as Buddha? That was my question. How the hell do you know? Because that description you are using and creating a state of mind or whatever you want to call, and experience that and tell yourself that you are in the same state. Until yesterday you wanted to be in that state. Today you are telling yourself that you are in the same state. Bullshit. You have not moved from square number one.
One question I want to
You have wasted 49 years of your life. Just throw all that out of your system. I think that's it.
About a quarter ago, I saw my entire life history on a Nadi leaf,
Yes.
palm leaf. How can you explain that?
I don't know. I have only one suspended judgment on that. The past comes accurate up to a point, and then the future you can't be sure.
But how does the past come there?
I don't know why those bastards sat there and discussed, you see, my life. And one thing, you see, what is amazing about that, I have a big volume, sir. Everybody who is considered to be an Adi man, astrologer, and the palmists all over the world. There is a book, you see, about my life and my future and everything that is there. And so the names are amazing. Names are amazing. I still don't have any answer. It doesn't mean that I swallow all that. Why should Shiva discuss my life with Parvati? Or some two rishis discuss my life.
Maybe there is really a Shiva and a Parvati who discuss our lives.
I told them, you see, the Nadi man, that Shiva instead of fucking Parvati, he discussed my life. What the hell he was doing? I am very free with my words, sorry. Effort is a common word in the English language. Every time.
Whenever this came into existence,
Huh?
whenever this...
I don't know
Nadi-
why they wrote it. No, this thing is,
No.
what I am telling you, how do they know the names? You see, I know
that is what I
that
asked.
no, Indian names I can imagine. You see, my name they said. You see, the Krishna.
Everybody's name it's accurate.
Indian, Indian, not necessarily accurate. Not necessarily accurate. 90% accurate. That much I know. But somebody, a friend of mine, Dr. Leboyer, came here. He went to that same fellow Nadi, this man there in Madras, and very few people knew that he changed his name when the Jews, when Germany occupied France, you see. And then he changed his name at that time to protect himself. And then you see that guy there said, this is not your name, your actual name is that. You see, when they don't know how to pronounce that, they give the letters, you see,
First
the
letter,
letters.
first letter, second letter, third
Second
letter.
letter, third letter, fourth letter, is it? That he himself was amazed and I myself was totally flabbergasted. You see this, even I did not know until then that he changed his name during the occupation, German occupation of France, you see. That amazed me. So the only thing that still cannot make me brush aside the whole thing, you see. How is it possible? What is the gimmicks they use? Not clairvoyance, clairaudience, and why they were interested in the persons that would be born after 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Why they
That
wrote
is my
all this?
angle I want to ask about.
Huh?
Whenever it came into existence, I was not here.
Yeah.
But then it was my future which is
So
the past now.
I don't think
Then, no?
I don't think all those questions will give us any satisfactory answers. You understand? That logical explanations which we offer to ourselves, which seem to be very logical and very acceptable to us, but still, you see, I don't accept that at all because it's not 100% correct.
But these are the possibilities of the mind, right? What they did then,
What?
all that they did then. Possibilities of the mind. They are-
But don't bother. Mind doesn't exist anyway. That is not the
The
point.
seminar is going on right now, in Jigani, in Vivekananda Kendra,
Yeah.
on Nadi Shastra and Killian photography.
And what?
Killian photography.
That
taking the photo of Russian technology. Nagendra.
So if Nagendra is connected,
Yes.
you can forget
It
it.
is organized.
He is known for this kind of stuff.
He is known for this kind of
They're coming and talking.
So you forget it. Now you mentioned it.
Singapore, there are studios, I believe. You just go give $5, have a clean photography of yourself and walk out.
Yes, yes. You have those things. Yes.
Yeah.
You can also have sex with some saints on the astral plane.
That is too much.
Not too much. I don't want to
What is that?
tell the real stories. And I have had sex with the saints. Yeah, goddesses even. On the astral plane, I did not know. And they told their disciples, see, there are depressions on my cheek. I said that this single bed is not good enough for us. And that woman bought a double bed for us, and so I had to return after so many years the money to that woman who bought this double bed. I am not joking. So I am not allowed to mention the names.
Because they are alive.
They are alive. They still have the picture of this god.
Yes.
Why should I go on the astral plane to make love to a woman? A saint of all the persons, a god, who is a goddess or something, you know. You see, sir, there will come a time when you will find out how, you see, now they are doing a lot of experiments in the laboratory. The sound and light are interchangeable. You see, from sound you can create pictures. See them, you see, you know. And then that is how all these people who repeat the mantras and Gayatri, when I don't know Gayatri ever existed the pitch, you see, I never saw that pitch. Although I repeated that 3,000 times a day, sitting there, sir.
You didn't see her? You didn't see her?
That bitch never existed. Now I am waiting.
Maybe she brought enlightenment.
Nadi, one of the Nadis said that even if you kick goddess Lakshmi, she will follow your footsteps. Right? And I didn't see any bitch following my footsteps. And believing that I have given away 3 crores of rupees, hoping that that bitch will follow my footsteps.
Why did you give away 3 crores?
Because I wanted some universities to produce virus to wipe out human species. MIT, like that. They refused finally. They didn't want it. You see, they said, you are yourself a virus, why do you need to produce a virus in the laboratory to wipe out human species?
Why did you want to wipe it out?
Because we don't deserve to be on this planet. Nature will wipe us all out very soon. How soon we will know. But the longer we remain on this planet, the greater is the misery for all the other forms of life.
So,
Yeah.
regarding wanting and getting,
Wanting,
there's a gap.
No, wanting and getting, wanting and thinking
Okay, fine.
is the same.
Yes, that's
There
gap.
can't be any thinking without want. And the moment you want, the thinking follows that.
Yes.
So that is why first time I discovered
How do you explain this
in
gap?
China, when I went there some six years, this is the 6th time, 7th time next time I go there. You see, they use the same word for wanting and thinking. I thought that was original. You see, when I said this, wanting and thinking is the same, but they use the same word for wanting and thinking. And then that's all right. They use other words, borrowing and lending. Also they use the same word. Then I said, I borrow some money from you and tell you that I am lending you money. So that would be very convenient. They use the same word for borrowing. And not only in China, I found out in Germany also, the German word is the same for borrowing and lending. So I tried that with some Germans. You see, it didn't work. You see, borrow some money from them and tell them that I am lending you the money and you pay me back that money which you borrowed from me. So nothing is original. And something, you see, when somebody asked me a question about God, I said God is the jumbled spelling of dog. You see. And of course the reactions were terrible on their part. And later on I found out in the computer, you see, you press that word God, the word God, and then there is another key there, you press it for jumbled spelling. The jumbled spelling of God is dog. Somebody has already put in the computer, you see. And already the selectivity and censorship is already there in the computer in a very microscopic way. So I asked my friend Julie to change her name. Julie Thayer is her name, family name is Thayer. I wanted her to change her family name Thayer into Beach. Julie Beach sounds better. See? And she put it in the computer rejected it already. Bastard and Beach are not there. And then the F word also, in some of them there are dots between the F and T. They are trying to be clever. The moment you succeed in putting thinking mechanism in the computers, their usefulness will be finished. Because thinking mechanism puts selectivity and censorship. That is all that thinking does to us. Selective, and then you also, bother about censorship. You understand?
So this gap you are talking about.
Yes.
Sometimes there will be a long gap, sometimes there will be a short gap.
About what?
About getting the things.
Getting the things, it doesn't immediately happen.
Yes.
Just the way we believe that anything that those guys, rishis, said happened immediately. Mostly curses happen, not blessings. Blessings didn't always happen. That is why Brahmachari always told me.
Is it because
your
the
curses operate, but your blessings don't?
Is it-
Yes, I cursed him.
Is it because of the
I am in the same bracket
what
as
did you do?
the great rishis is also cursed. If they cursed, if gods and goddesses cursed, why not a poor chap like
so
me?
what is it due to
What?
that gap?
You were thinking? Yes, you grab that bitch there or check immediately.
No, sir, he is asking,
Why is the gap between the thinking and wanting?
wanting and
Wanting is-
fructifying.
There is no such thing as want.
No, his question
That's
is
what I
that-
am saying. I want something means the thinking has to come into operation immediately.
No, when the rishis could materialize
Then
it
nothing,
immediately,
they were all stories. They were all
rishis couldn't get anything by their wishing,
nothing,
couldn't get anything at all.
nothing. They are all stories.
You also can't get anything by wishing.
Nothing unless I put
By
my
wanting.
hand in your pocket and pick up the money. Then don't call me a big pocket.
Is it by
Sai Baba,
is it the intensity of the thought and repetition of the thought
nothing,
is going
sir,
to decide the things?
nothing. The intensity is what you put into that. That is why you have emotions. There is no need for any emotion since you can't get. You use will, what you call will.
What is that
And
will? How do
will
you
also
explain?
doesn't, there is no will. You force yourself to get things you want or free yourselves from the things you don't want. That you call will, and you don't succeed. Sometimes you succeed, and so you think that your will has helped you to get whatever you want.
So
Next time you try it, it won't work.
is will
100% it must be. I know statistics. I am not impressed by statistics.
will is
Statistics only 50%.
will is constant repetitive.
What
thought.
is will,
Is
sir?
it-
You tell me. Don't use that word.
Is it
What is will?
that is constant
I don't
repetitive
know.
thought?
Don't talk shit.
It's knowledge, what I have of
What is will? You tell me. You want something, you don't get it, and you force yourself, do everything possible, not physically.
When we don't get it,
Even you don't get what you want, you use your will, they call it. Physical force or mental force, what is called. Your mental force is not there. That you call will. You say, I have the will. You write your will, leaving everything to your kids.
brilliant.
Huh? Not so. That is your
nothing
will.
but thinking.
Huh?
Nothing but thinking.
Nothing but force. You force yourself. Forcible.
Possible thinking.
I want it. You see.
Possible thoughts.
I want it. You don't get it. So you do everything possible to get what you want. So what I'm telling you, just be clear about what do you want. What do you want? That's all that I'm
So if
asking.
I want something, I can get it.
No, there are ways and means of getting what you want. Don't introduce moral elements into the picture.
No moral element.
If you want money, you see, by fair means if possible. If you can't get money by fair means, use foul means. That's all. You see, everybody is after the same. Either you use physical force or you see any other, but you have invented and telling those guys it is immoral, it is, you look down upon the guy.
I will get it.
Moksha doesn't exist. You should get it if it is there. You have been brainwashed to believe. What will you do with moksha? To fool yourself and fool others. It is useful only for exploiting others. That I am a liberated man. What will you do with the liberation? Assuming for a moment there is a liberation. You want to be liberated from what?
From pain.
Huh?
Pain.
Pain doesn't exist for the body. You
Not
have no
When I'm having a headache.
headache. You
Or
see,
donkey.
even headache is not there. Only they created the headache. These doctors.
No, you are talking about money.
Money.
That's Ramakrishna when he slept or something. I believe.
No,
there
no, no,
was
you
some
don't.
con-
You
no,
don't.
no, no.
I
thought-
want you to read the original book in Bengali, not the English version. Those bastards, you see, did this.
Colored it.
Colored it. No, no, I met that bastard there, Sri Ramakrishna Mission.
To whom did
Nikhilananda, who translated that into English, I asked him that fellow, why you have, you see, dropped all the F words which he used so frequently, the actual stories that are there in the Bengali version, why you did it? See, that will destroy the image we are creating here in this country. So he used the F words more frequently than I used, you see. It was he who inspired me. Otherwise, I was brought up by this.
One day he was inspired
No. The other thing also inspired me. The money he is talking about. Any time any visitor visited him,
Money also.
the first thing he asked was, how much money do you have, sir? How much money you can give me? These are the two things he asked. And the stories they are telling, he had a shock. You see, probably at that time, you see the static electricity, you see, gave you a sort of a shock. You don't have to touch coins now. You touch your doorway or the handle, you get the shocks. You see, you don't have to touch money. At that time, probably that fellow had some sort of a static electric shock, and then he want money. See, if it is a huge amount of money, maybe I will succumb. Who knows? And what do you want to do with millions of dollars? First let me have, then I say, we'll find out what to do.
See for yourself.
No, you give away. Hey, that fellow is giving another concert to that boy.
I see.
And 3 concerts he gives. You think I would buy him a piano for $10,000?
In today's newspaper, Indian piano costs 10 lakhs rupees.
10 lakhs?
Yes.
The guy in he used water to light his lamp, so he is a great man, miraculous he can perform. So they started giving him gallons and gallons of kerosene from that moment onwards. But nobody explained to them, when you put water, what was there at the bottom surfaces comes to the top. As any student of science, he will find out.
Now we know.
And the kerosene is lighter than water. So
Lighter than-
it settles down at the top.
On the top. You see, they didn't tell that, you see, those guys.
Putpurti Sai Baba, a middle school dropout, how is it they have created such a huge amount of wealth in
There are enough fools in this world to fall for that kind of thing. Sure, he started colleges to have boys for his homosexual activity. And so that is all the reason why he starts colleges.
No, but how could they achieve so much?
There are so many people, sir, who can achieve, you see. Especially in that field, there is a market for such crooks. You see. You believe in that? His miracles, his performing miracles?
No, the educational institution is built up,
Education.
the hospital, the stadium.
Sir, he built up with a fellow whom he knows very well. A European came and built
Americans
up
are
Because of him. Because of him.
Nobody
that's the
believes
reason.
He was a real estate guy who had a lot of money. He wanted, I told him, he himself was shocked. Why are you helping him to create all these colleges for the boys? I said, do you know he's a homosexual? This was 1971, 72, so many years
He's
ago.
not driving the buildings as a miracle. After all, people like you are working for him.
And like him,
engineers and architects and money people.
Yeah,
pouring money.
How can you draw those people to him?
That's
what
what
I call it.
A magician.
How is he inspiring them?
he can fool them like that. Offering moksha.
Or Bhagavantam
He
and
exchange for
Thackeray.
money.
Why did he walk out afterwards? He found out. If you want, you can see the BBC program. What is it?
Secret lives of people.
Guru Basters.
Guru Basters.
He's a magician, sir.
Somebody handing over. He's a magician.
We have all seen the trick he is doing in slow
But
motion.
he's better that he's possible.
I can also do that now. You see, do you know how I learnt all those tricks, sir? There is one fellow there in Australia who is doing his doctorate. The subject of his thesis is God-man. And he has read a lot of stuff about me and read all the books. He tried his best to include me in his thesis. He totally failed. He spent a lot of time with Sai Baba here for years and years. and he got nothing from him. He found out how he was mesmerizing people, how he was creating all these things out of nowhere. And so then he heard that I was there in Sydney. There were about 30, 40 people like this and who came to see me. And I spoke for 2 hours. And then you see, they also showed the interviews, the TV interviews. And half a day he spent with me. And he came and introduced himself and said, Vijay, even now I can't, with all this, my encounter with you, personal encounter, watching all those things, there is no way I can include you in my thesis. It's all right, I'm not concerned about it. There is no way you can include me anywhere for that matter. And then he said, I'm going to do what he did. You see there, this place, Bangalore, he spent 6 or 8 months here watching it very closely. And then first thing you see the ashes, and how he made those